First, from my friend Otichilo, before an audience that knows more about these things than I do. And secondly, from all you who know much more about the environment, climate change, carbon issues, and so on, because these are extremely new issues in our country that we need to learn together. I remember when the issue of environment came many years ago, before UNEP was established, there was a lot of debate about the environment, if I remember well. And then there was justification for the UN establishing itself in Nairobi at UNEP. I hope we can debate seriously enough to have a climate change headquarters in Nairobi. My friend Justice Smokin Wanjala, I think this is something that we can aim to, but nonetheless, I'm really grateful to be here today as custodians of justice in matters relating to our environment and land resources. The Environment and Land Court judges are extremely important to us. Your role is pivotal in shaping sustainable development and ensuring equitable access to land for all, as Mary Mwiti pointed out in her earlier speech this morning on behalf of the COG. Land, as we know, is not merely a physical resource, but a cornerstone of livelihoods, cultural identity, and economic progress. In my community, when a young man comes of age and ceases to live in the cottage in his father's house, is allocated land, and it's hoped that after being allocated land, he will have a woman to live in it. So land is also an item for reproduction in many communities. However, its management and use have increasingly become complex due to rapid urbanization, population growth, and environmental challenges. It is therefore it's also easily comprehensible that the committee that I head in the Council of Governors is called the Committee of Lands, Urban Development, and what is Mary? Housing, yes. As judges and magistrates, you are at the forefront of interpreting laws, adjudicating disputes, and guiding decisions that directly impact on our landscapes and communities. Therefore, effective land management and land use planning is an enabler to achieving sustainable development, social equity, legal certainty and security, environmental conservation, and prudent urban planning and infrastructure. I emphasize planning because to plan is to choose. Planning makes you make choices. If you plan badly, you will make bad choices. If you plan well, you make good choices. As judges and magistrates of the Environment and Land Court, you play a pivotal role in achievement of these principles by upholding and enforcing existing land management and land use planning laws. Let me underline planning laws. Your decisions not only resolve disputes, but also set precedents that shape laws, policies, and practices in land management. I'm sure when justices make decisions, they always quote previous cases because these cases set precedent for future decisions. Furthermore, the Environment and Land Court can promote transparency and accountability in land transactions and allocations. By scrutinizing the legality and legitimacy of land deals, you can discourage corruption and land grabbing, thereby safeguarding community interests. I came here with my minister for lands, housing, and urban development, Jerome Ochieng behind there, who has been a government senior person. He's now my minister for land, housing, and urban development, underscoring the importance of that department in my government. I encourage the court to leverage on geographic information systems for just, efficient, and effective judicial decision-making. GIS will enable the court to issue evidence-based decisions through visualization and analysis of complex spatial trends in order to assess the environmental and social implications of proposed land development and disputes. There is nothing more central to county government, almost on a daily basis, than dealing with the land disputes, but also making decisions on how land is used. One of the things that we experience in Kisumu, for example, a growing city, is that unless we make very tough and strict laws on how land is used, we can develop towns and cities which are not livable. For example, creating space for the green space in cities or towns is extremely important. If we do not do so, we'll find that our kids will grow up in concrete jungles where they will not enjoy their youth. One of the things that we are told in early childhood education and development is that children must be given space and time to play. If from the word go, you make ECD kids sit in a classroom and they have to cram things and go home to do homework, you are not doing them good. What they want to do is come to school and make sure that they play enough, as they always do. And in the process of playing, they learn. In cities and urban areas, you're not going to have people playing and kids playing without green space. Equally, human adults also need green space to walk, to exercise, and just to get leisure time. It will promote transparency and accountability by providing a clear and traceable record of special information used in judicial proceedings, particularly in the use of space where we live, both in rural and urban areas. This court can play a crucial role in several fronts. Importantly, in persuading duty bearers to enact legislation and perform positive actions in land management, land use planning, and eliminating clawback to devolution. The court in the National Assembly and another applicant versus Okia Mtata Okoti and others respondents consolidated civil application number E577 or 2023 pronounced itself on the housing levy, which ultimately resulted in Parliament enacting the Affordable Housing Act 2024, of which I'll say something presently. As a devolution champion and defender of good governance, I will be failing in not stating that the Constitution of Kenya, and indeed the judiciary and devolution, are premised on fundamental principles of constitutionalism and the rule of law. These principles are sometimes not upheld. I will mention but a few instances. One, the Commission on Revenue Allocation's downward revision of shareable base for county governments from 385 to 374 billion Kenyan shillings in a bid to disadvantage counties in the recent division of revenue process is an affront to the constitutional imperatives in our motherland. The Office of the Auditor General, too, the Office of the Auditor General and National Treasury's action of reducing the last audited books of account by a whopping 100 million Kenyan shillings goes against the general principles of accounting. I'm mentioning these because in the fund analysis, counties can plan very well in all matters of delivering services to our people. But unless we have adequate resources as provided for in the Constitutional Republic of Kenya, we shall be failing in our duties in developing the 48 governments. Because our Constitution says in our republic, we have 48 governments, 1 national, 47 county, separate but interdependent. Separate but interdependent, not superior and inferior. This action compromise on the independence of institutions and do not promote constitutionalism when we do not give resources to counties to manage and implement policies, particularly on land planning and land use. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I urge of you to continue your pursuit of justice with unwavering dedication to environmental stewardship and sustainable development. Your decisions today will have a lasting impact on the landscapes we inherit and the communities we serve. Let us work together to ensure that our land resources are managed wisely, equitably, and with a vision towards a prosperous and resilient future for all. And I hope in ensuring this resilient future for all, each time we should take note of any action, any decisions, any pronouncements that claws back devolution in our nation. For example, the development of affordable housing projects on county government land without proper transfer is an affront to constitutionalism in our nation. The recent judgment on KICC is a replica of what will happen for affordable housing if not handled constitutionally, and will disadvantage the gullible members of the public. Affordable housing is indeed welcome in counties, but affordable housing should be implemented within the realm of constitutionalism and proper law enforcement and law observance. In that law, the Constitution has given responsibility to the two arms of government. The counties, as you know constitutionally, at the local level, have responsibility over land, agriculture, early childhood education, and so on. These are laws that exist in our law books, and that we, as managers of the people and decision makers in law that we use to manage the people, should ensure that nobody, whether small or big, contravenes them, whether national or county contravenes them. I therefore hope, ladies and gentlemen, that this training workshop will present an invaluable opportunity to share on the common issues in land management, in land use planning, whilst enriching our knowledge in these areas of practice. I myself have come to learn, but I've also come to share some of the worries and ideas that I have about these issues, and I hope they will be taken kindly, and I will be helped in better understanding of the issues before us these 2 days. I thank you very much for coming together.